my dial-in to the Zyros, Madam Tilly, and these are my friends. Upside Down Matt, or you just call him Matt.
Hello there, folks.
Tydonis,
Glad to be here again.
or you just call him Jace.
Either way. Potato, potato.
Nature Claus.
I don't know how I got here.
We still have yet to fix all the walls that you chewed your way through. You still owe us a repair
Like,
bill.
I don't even remember how I got here. My vision just goes black, and all of a sudden I wind up with my head poking out of one of the doors in the back, and there were just a bunch of pretzels here, and I'm chewing on them, and they're delicious.
Oh, that's
Hey,
what we
those
had to talk
are for the stage crew only.
There's a
You might
stage
need
crew.
If you're
I-
going black and you're going to show up in new places, you might need to get that checked out.
Hey, I promise I have not started drinking.
I
Anyway, these pretzels are really good.
You're going to be drinking for too long.
I've actually, scarily enough, I actually sleptwalked down the street before.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Get down, Bjorn.
This is... twice.
Oh my.
I would ask, but I don't want to get too derailed straight off the bat.
Yeah, I'll keep it quick, but there's a church right down the street. I woke up on the church steps, and I had like leaves in my hair.
I
yeah.
kind of slept healed in Crystal Tower once upon a time.
Oh, you know what? That checks out.
I don't know how I did it, but I kept the group alive for about 2 fights.
What job are you?
Astrologian.
Oh, really? Okay, that's one of the more extensive healers. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised.
I was on the healing, not the healing stance, not the shield stance. And one of my buddies heard me snore, and they're like, "Jace!" And I'm like, "What?" They're like, "You're asleep." And I was like, "I am."
Honestly,
like,
if you were playing White Mage, I was like, that checks out.
No, I hate. Oh God, I hate White Mage.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Well, look. All right.
Yeah, we can do FF14.
There's a different gaming topic for today.
Yeah. But yeah, the other time though, I slept like a block furler. I woke up. There's basically like a car, like a car junkyard slash garage place. I was behind the place, and I woke up in the driver's seat of a limousine. Yeah, not the fancy part, the driver's seat. Yeah, I don't even know how to drive.
Oh.
Yeah, so that.
Okay.
God woke up.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was like it had to be like 8 or something o'clock in the morning. So I heard people like working from the garage. Like I should probably sneak out of here.
How the fuck did you? You know what? I'm not even gonna ask.
I don't know. This is back in 2010. So. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Huh. Well.
This is in the before time.
Before Bayonetta. Okay, so tonight we're get back to the good old discussion podcast. Yeah, giving the news a break for a minute. Let's talk some good retro goodness here. How about we've talked about in recent podcasts this year, like the NES, the Super Nintendo, and the Sega Genesis. Yeah, Matt was there for a couple. And now we're here for the 5th generation. As a whole, we'll probably do like a deep dives of those other consoles, like our favorite games and stuff of them at some point. But yeah, the 5th generation, so to kind of set us up, the 5th gen starts technically very late 93. But it didn't really kick into effect like late 94, if you ask me. Before that, we had just come off the Bit Wars with Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The golden era.
Yeah, I mean, talk about console wars. Like people like died. They took those wars seriously.
People got into fist fights, dude.
Oh yeah.
People got into
this I did not hear about. Okay.
Oh no, it got violent over video games. I remember when I was in high school. This is early 2000s, and you basically were in camps. You were in Team PlayStation, Nintendo, or Xbox. Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me, I am Team 3DO. Thank you very much.
Oh,
give me my Panasonic. Thank you.
Were you still living in Florida back then, or?
Yep.
Okay, that also explains a little bit. But god damn, okay.
Oh yeah, no, dude, it was violent back then.
Oh yeah.
Jesus, maybe it's just because I wasn't raised amongst nerds. I was not familiar with a lot of this beef.
I say
I
it's
was-
rednecks
happened
need
to this
any
time
excuse to
frame.
fight.
I was about to say I was growing up in Texas and everything, so I didn't see all this, but I heard about it online, and I was like, "Dear gods!"
Yeah.
That's social, so I just stayed away from people.
Yeah, people
Ah.
suck.
No, I just wanted to watch Dragon Ball Z. Leave me alone, people.
That
Fair.
checks out.
I like those GameCubes. They had that grip handle, so you just swing those things, as weapons.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh.
Or if you're unfortunate enough to have a Mad Cat controller. Me and Tilly
So-
went on a bit of a tangent about those sons of bitches.
the Sega
Now-
Game Gear had so many batteries, you just put them into a sock and beat someone to death of it.
Yeah, I'm not hearing a lie.
Fucking
Yeah.
excuse me.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, right.
Things were hardcore back in
Like-
the day.
And Nature's
Why did
our youngin
I-
of the group here.
Yes.
This is
okay.
before
to
his
be, to be
time.
perfectly transparent, and to be honest here, as much as my model, my turtle boat man, does in fact make me look like I'm in my 40s and 50s.
Yep.
I am in my early 20s. I'm gonna
Oh,
be
you
20.
You still baby.
I am going to be 24 in May.
So
Um,
this means
so I was born after these consoles came out.
yeah. It's
Gods, I'm
however,
feeling my age.
Easy. I was born
I
before them.
apologize. I apologize that I am speeding the time.
I love memes like
Speeding-
this because it's like what's it like? You're born and
Now-
there's game generations before you. Like, because I
Now,
just
granted,
I was
I
trying
did-
from the beginning.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
A lot of what I'm familiar with of the 90s in terms of video games is from the PC
Yeah.
era. With Zoo Tycoon, fucking
Age of Empires.
yes, Age of Empires, fucking Dungeon Keeper. I've been fucking loving Dungeon Keeper, though I've been playing that more recently.
Doom.
Yeah, Doom, Black and White. Well, I guess Black and White was more 2000s. Like
Duke Nukem.
yeah, I need to play Duke Nukem. I need to play
Dude,
that.
play
at
the
some
old
point.
versions of Duke Nukem.
Yes. But yes, in terms of the actual consoles that we're talking about today, ironically, I've played a very small amount of the PS1, and that's because I don't know where it came from. Without getting too deep into the story, at my grandmother's house, she had a PS1. For some reason, I presume it's for when the kids came over to play games and hang out and
Yep.
busy the time and such. She had a bunch of platformer games specifically. Like there was it Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
I want to say it was Crash Bandicoot 3, but don't quote me on that. I think it was the first Spyro game.
Yep, it was on PS1.
Mm-hmm. As well as two of these like spin-off Disney platformers. There was a Toy Story 2 with Buzz Lightyear, as well as there was a Bug's Life like collector platformer for some reason.
Yep.
At least 3 or 4 of those games are bangers.
Yeah. And also there was a Looney Tunes one with Bugs Bunny.
I was about to say, was it the Looney Tunes or the Tiny Tunes? Because Tiny Tunes did.
It was specifically Looney Tunes. It was like a time travel one.
Yeah,
I forget
Oh.
the details.
Yeah, that's actually 4 out of 5 bangers because that Looney Tunes one's considered a hidden gem.
Really? Okay. Damn.
One of the ones I liked was Maui Mallard.
Maui Mallard. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a platformer game of Maui Mallard, which is actually the actual name of Darkwing Duck.
Oh yes. Okay.
guess-
I have heard. Okay.
Yeah. I
I've
guess
heard
Maui
about
doesn't sound as
this.
cool as Darkwing.
Yeah, but Granny is missing the most best platformer of all time for
Oh, that was
PlayStation
good.
1,
That was
Bubsy 3D.
He tries to get everyone to play it.
I cannot
Oh,
bring myself to
God.
play the
Look, as
newest
someone who has
iteration of
beaten the
Darkwing.
game twice, you could do worse.
You beat it twice.
Someone literally gifted me 100 gift subs in one stream to play it twice.
Really? Oh my
Seriously.
condolences.
Those last 4
Wow.
levels
Yeah, I
are
got $250.
fuckers.
Who am I gonna be playing?
Oh
I
my
mean, granted,
lord.
my first PlayStation 1 game was I had two of them because my mother got me two copies, or two different games. My first one they were both Final Fantasy games. It was Final Fantasy 8 and Final Fantasy Tactics. And the only
Okay.
reason my mom got me Final Fantasy Tactics because it had a dragon on it.
Oh,
Fair.
nice.
It had
Fair.
it had Bahamut on it,
Hey,
and
Team
that was
goes
the
back
only.
that far.
Classic, like, I think my kid would like this, is not an actual nerd themselves.
Oh no, I ended up loving it.
Okay, well, yeah, she made a lucky pull, even if she
Oh,
had no idea what she was
oh,
doing,
damn
is
good
what it
lucky
sounds
pull.
like.
It was a damn lucky pull, and it became and it is still my
kitty.
favorite PlayStation 1 game of all time.
Yeah, yeah, Grant. Yeah, it's funny because for me, like, I the 90s, in terms of, like, GameCube, PS1, etc. That's kind of a gap in my gaming knowledge specifically, because my dad had a SNES for some reason, and I had a bunch of the classic SNES games there, Super Mario 1 through 3, freaking Bubble Bobble was what I played the shit out of Bubble Bobble as a kid.
I mean, it was a good game when we were kids, dude.
There was also this, and then there was this, oh my god, brain, this a Sesame Street counting game where you'd played as the counts.
Yep.
It was fucking bizarre. I have, like, vague memories of it. So,
It
like,
was
I'm familiar with a number of games from that era. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that game was nightmare fuel.
Oh yes, that too.
You know what? I'll give that game
Yes.
the count one because I've played it, because of course I have. For the NES, the voice synthesizer was actually really impressive. Everything
I
else,
remember that.
I mean, you could do worse on the NES.
Could be worse.
I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't have a whole lot to work with the NES.
Yeah, I often be a little critical of the NES because it just it was the first real console, if you ask me, and game developers were still figuring out how to make games, if you ask me. So many games just don't
That's
feel
fair.
programmed right. Like a lot of them are bullshit hard because I don't think they're programmed right. I just think developers didn't quite know what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still kind of the Wild West of gaming at that kind of stage.
I
It
agree.
just kept fucking expanding from there. I mean, again, going from the whole going from 2D to 3D.
Yeah, the growing pains
during
came
this
back.
generation.
Yeah, that was one
Yeah.
of the big innovations of the 5th generation. 3D. We have polygons, and we got we turn the camera around and stuff.
The third dimension is here.
No.
Like,
Oh, we also had Pogs back in the 90s. Anyway,
Yeah,
oh, right.
I will not
Well, I
stand
was about
slander
to
against
say.
Pogs.
So the one nice thing about the transition to 3D was 2D never died. We had, the birth of new genres even there with the Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
I was about to
Yeah.
ask. Is this is when Castlevania started getting big? Okay.
yeah.
Well, bigger, I'd argue.
Right.
It was always big, but it got it just grew in even more
Birth of the
popularity.
Metroidvania.
Yep.
Yes.
Which, not really my favorite genre, just because I get so lost.
That's fair. I admittedly, the one Metroidvania game I've actually played is Hollow Knight. And I fucking loved Hollow Knight. I never beat God Home because, dear lord. But I do love Hollow Knight. So, like, at some point I would be interested in going back to some of the older, like, classic Metroidvanias. I know next to nothing about Castlevania. I'll be perfectly honest. I've heard that the TV show is fucking baller.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Good intro.
Yeah, but outside of that, I know that there's vampires and that they're hot, and there's a fucking whip that multiple vampire hunters have, and they're in Smash, and that's about it. That's about as much as I know.
Nature would see Simon and Dracula come up. Oh no, he's hot.
Well, okay.
And then on top of
Would
it, the BDSM. Oh God.
Are they personally my type? No. Do I understand? Absolutely. Like, I can understand whether something is attractive or not, and not immediately wish to bone.
This is
What's that like?
weird. It's weird. It's weird being empathetic. I'm joking.
I have no idea what it's like to have empathy sometimes.
Yeesh.
What? I'm a
yes,
terrible person. I've made peace with this.
Hey, tolerate this talk here. But yeah, this is a gap that I know academically more than I do in personal experience.
You've read more than you've played,
Correct.
and that's fair. I mean, a lot of people, we didn't like back in the day. We didn't know about a game coming out unless we read like Nintendo Power or Game Informer, or if we had like a game shop that we could go to and talk with the cashier and get because back in the day, like GameStop and those mom and pop game stores, they're the ones who kind of had their finger on the pulse of what games were coming out and everything. So we'd have to talk with them. Scary thing, we had to socialize back in the 90s.
Well, perish the thoughts.
It was a wild west, my dude. It was scary.
Stupid question. Slight side tangent. So this is still relating to the same era. Is this when Bionicle was starting to come out, or was that more the 2000s?
That's more 2000s.
They were more 2000s.
That's more 2000s. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Gotcha.
They were hinting at it toward the end of the 90s because they were wanting to make like a couple of the toys may have come out by that time, but it didn't get real big until the movies started coming out, and that was in the 2000s.
Yeah, because like this generation, it lasted from like it was like 95, 96, I want to say it started technically, or like when it came to America.
So 5th gen. Like technically, the first one was in late '93, but it didn't really blow up until '95.
Right, and then it lasted until Brain. I'm trying to think.
Like technically, the first 6th gen was like in '98 or '9, but the 5th gen was still going strong until like I would say 2001.
I'm trying to think more when 5th gen started to peter out.
Well, let's say 93, and then arguably 98 is the release of Dreamcast in Japan. So
okay.
But I pulled it up. The 5th generation of video games, also known as the 32-bit, 64-bit, and 3D era, lasted approximately from 93 to 2006.
Okay. So I was born during this time.
Yeah, so I'll say it, but it's I would say it was 95 to 2001. Yeah, because basically, PS2 came out, people still need a couple years to catch up and get a PS2.
Yep.
You can slide the dial here and there for like when it quote unquote kicked the bucket, and the next generation started. But like
like every generation has a game that came out like really late, like a couple years late. And to the next generation.
Oh yeah, let's look at the say NES. Their last game was released in '95. Wario's Woods, and that's the only NES game to get an ESRB rating.
Really?
Yep, it took Mortal Kombat to bring out the ESRB.
No, that's
right.
Yeah, Persona was always a couple years late.
Yeah, thank you, Typical.
Well, Billy was going back to the age rating thing. It was Persona and what was the other game that I know like popularized games can be adult. It was the one like home invasion game that was like
I know what you're talking about.
It
was on Sega CD.
I didn't have. I didn't have a Sega.
Night Trap.
Night Trap. That's it.
Thank you, Night Trap.
You're welcome.
That's one thing. Yes, that's another one that like kind of opened up like, oh god, the video games are corrupting our youth. Even though it's like, no, these are just 18 plus games. This is a thing that can also be done in this sphere. As far as I understood.
No. These things must be for children. The media says
because adults can't be gamers. Can't play video games. That's a kid thing.
I said adults can't be gay.
I remember the.
No.
I remember
Don't put those words in my mouth.
I remember the shitstorm that came out when Diablo first came out. Oh dear God.
Oh boy, I can only imagine.
What a time to be alive. I'm just gonna say I was just like, give me my popcorn. I want to watch the fires burn.
Well, even before, even fucking because Dungeon Keeper did Dungeon Keeper come out before? No. Dungeon Keeper did not come out before Diablo. I don't think.
Diablo 1 was released on
If it was 90s.
1997, January 2nd.
Okay, yeah, because I think the first. Wait, when? Okay, now let me look up. Now I'm second guessing. Dungeon Keeper 1 was. Oh, 97. Okay. So actually not too far off.
Yeah, Diablo
I was
technically
expecting
came
more of a
first.
gap.
Diablo came first, and then Dungeon Keeper was shortly after.
Yeah, because that was also one of the first ones where people were like, "Oh, you play as the devil," you
Well,
know.
everyone assumed you played as a devil on Diablo, but no, you actually fought Diablo.
Yeah, you kill the devil. What was it? Didn't the Pope like sanction Diablo 3 or something? Or like one of the recent Diablo games where like he sanctioned it as like, oh, you kill a bunch of demons, cool, sure,
Well,
we'll sanction, you know.
It was proven that one of the creators of it was Doom. One of the creators of Doom was
Oh, it was
a
Doom. That was it. Thank you. Sorry, it was not Diablo.
Mormon, and they're like, no, Doom is like the ultimate Christian game. You go around killing demons.
Yeah, that's what it was. Thank you.
Granted, very, very violently.
Right. You know.
What I learned was the second name of the chainsaw, the Great Communicator. I'm not making that up. That was the second name of the was like the unofficial name of the chainsaw, the Great Communicator.
And was it in specifically in Doom or in general? Are you talking about
In Doom?
Okay, I was about to say. I was like, I'm not sure. Okay, huh? Interesting.
But no, I remember when like hearing about Doom and all the shitstorm that spawned because it was so fucking visceral and bloody, and then Mortal Kombat came out, and that forced the ESRB to come out to be formed, and that's how now we have the E to AO and everything. And I've only seen one AO game personally, and that was when GTA 3 first came out because of
San Andreas.
was it? Oh yeah, San Andreas first came out because originally it was rated AO, and then they got dropped down to mature.
So not quite. It was M, then AO because the hot coffee mod, and then they're like, let's reprint the game without that, and then back to M.
Damn.
It's
Yep.
it's been a minute since I didn't even play San Andreas. My brothers played it. I played Vice City was my game for GTA, but my brothers
never
played San Andreas.
I never played a GTA game. I never actually played any of them.
You're missing
Like
out.
I will say this: the games that would be relevant to this topic, Grand Theft 1 and 2, you can kind of skip. I'm gonna be honest. They're not bad games. You're better off playing games inspired by them.
Yeah. Oh, like Saints Row, ironically.
No, I'm talking. So there's the two Grand Theft Autos, the top-down Grand Theft Autos, like
Okay.
And then you have Grand Theft Auto 3, which is what you think modern Grand Theft Auto looks like.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because Okay,
and
interesting.
Really don't think I didn't catch that driver reference you just said. Don't remind me of that game.
No, it's fun.
I know about Driver. I've never played it.
I'll say play Driver 1 and put in the no gravity code. Watch those police fly.
Wasn't Driver like the one with the notoriously hard training sequence?
I think so.
I know the final stage is really hard in Driver.
It was like the first mission you do. It's not even a mission. It's basically you have to do all these stunts and nobody could do them. It was like in a parking garage, and it told you to do like a whole bunch of different things, quote unquote tricks or something, and nobody could do it. It was fucking weird.
I'm actually skimming through a list in the background of games from this generation that like either I've actually played or on the list. There's a lot of games on here on the list of me for me that I need to play at some point.
Yeah.
Like Thief, Command and Conquer, the Fallout 1 and 2, Half-Life 1. Like there's a bunch of shit on here that's on my list to play, but I haven't actually fucking played it yet. Okay, there is StarCraft 1. I think that's the one big one I can think of in terms of like the PC
And well,
generation.
there's plenty of hidden gems. I know throughout these systems, like, I didn't just meme on the 3DO for nothing. There are good games on there. Like the Dungeon and Dragon Slayer game, excellent.
Oh?
Hidden gem, excellent game. Sure, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little janky, but it's a fun first-person dungeon crawler that does one thing interesting for its era.
Oh.
So you get to name your dungeon, whatever you name your dungeon. So through so whatever you name it, it randomly generates a dungeon.
That's the seed for the dungeon. Okay.
Bingo.
Oh shit, that's really cool.
And then there's a sequel called Death Keep, which it's good. It's arguably better. I'm one of those weird guys sometimes. Like I kind of like the more jank the original game because it's somewhat of an easier game because if you know how to use the jank just to your advantage.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were one of those people that's like, I like the character of the jankage, which valid.
I mean,
to some degree.
Sometimes the jank adds charm.
True. It's a mixed bag
Hill.
For me.
It's
a mixed bag.
I'm looking at you, Silent Hill 2.
Oh yes. Okay. Yes, and I'm. That's another game I need to play at some point. But ironically, I've watched a review of before I've actually played the game myself, which is I know sacrilegious.
Heresy.
Sacrilegious. Hey, if it gets you interested in the game, be like, all right, what people think of this game? It's good. Why go check it out? It's bad.
Well, yeah.
How bad is it? Let's go check it out.
Because I have a lot of friends who are into it, and like I've absorbed a lot through osmosis. That's a weird case with me and a lot of like video game IPs is that I've experienced a lot through osmosis from my other nerd friends, even though I haven't played a lot of these games myself.
I will say Silent Hill 2, if you go into it not knowing anything, not knowing where any of the jump scares are or anything, it could be a solid, it could be a solid laxative replacement.
I've also heard it's very campy in certain places.
Oh, extremely.
Yeah, like it's unintentionally so with the voice acting.
Yeah. They've improved it with the remake. Now it's like professional.
Oh, absolutely, yes. That was the consensus I heard that the new one is a totally different take, basically a very different take on the game and on the story.
Me and Tilly were kind of raking it over the coals just a little bit when we saw the remake trailer and everything.
Oh yeah, the trailer we went crazy about, but apparently it proved us wrong. That's good. It's
Oh yes, that's also the consensus I heard that a lot of people were iffy on the trailer, and then the game ended up being amazing.
Yeah.
Like the main thing that I still remember, it was like me and Tilly were talking about the remake and everything, and the only thing that really bugged us was what was her name, Tilly?
Oh, Angela.
Angela. It was like her proportions were just a little off. It was like she ate a fistful of bees, and her face was like it looked swollen.
Looked a little swollen. Okay.
And we're like, why?
Yeah.
Which I mean, I guess granted, if you're trying to defend it slightly, as much as I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I can almost like think of it as, if someone's been like crying regularly nonstop, you're gonna be a bit puffy, or like being in a very like shocking situation where you're very emotional.
She was an SA survivor and everything, and
oh yes, this character. Okay, okay, all right.
I keep on forgetting how she ended up in Silent Hill, but it was just like I know, like you said,
on the run.
If you're crying a lot, you're gonna get a little bit puffy. But this looked a little bit strange.
It was like swollen. Okay.
Yeah, it was like she got, it kind of looked like she got into a little bit of a fist fight, and she took nothing but blows to the cheeks. But I do remember it was like hearing like when I never got a chance to play a whole lot of Silent Hill 1. I played a little bit of it when I was a kid, but like the fog and everything about that game. The reason why they put that fog so thick is because it was a limitation of the medium, because the PlayStation couldn't render all the buildings and everything. So how they get around that? Put a real thick blanket of fog around the whole city.
I have two things to go off of that actually for me. One, the story I always heard is that there was a lot of inspiration going off of the fog. There was a lot of inspiration taken from Centralia, which
Yep.
which actually, resident Pennsylvanian here, Centralia is a coal mining town that actually caught fire. I forget how many decades ago
I
now.
thought it was a West Virginia.
Um,
I thought it was a West Virginian.
no, it was Pennsylvania.
Was it? I always heard West Virginia.
Yes.
No, it's Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
it's like
I'm
it's
pulling
like
it
it's like
up.
around like the middle-ish of Pennsylvania.
Is the fire still going?
Yes, it is still going. It is still burning.
So it's kind of like the Hell's Pit in the Sahara.
Yes, there is still smoke coming out of cracks in the ground in some areas. It is freaky. However, and I think as of COVID, the last resident of Centralia was forced to move out.
Did it just get that bad?
Partially that, but also just like, it was down to like for the longest time it was down to like maybe 3 people.
Oh, so it was basically a ghost town.
It was a ghost town. Yes, absolutely. It was evacuated. It was evacuated until it was finally like forcibly closed down. And it is an area. It's now closed off to the public now, if I recall correctly.
Lame.
Oh man, can I just
Yeah,
property
but
taxes?
I don't know the details on that. But apparently, during the quarantine in COVID, after the roads to Centralia got closed down, a shit ton of graffiti got painted onto it.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
So there's actually miles of graffiti leading up to Centralia, just like this massive fucking, like connective graffiti art piece, basically.
Like
Up until
if you cut down a building or any kind of town or road or a bridge or anything, it's only a matter of time before you get the urban explorers and the taggers start showing up.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
it's
Oh,
the
I don't.
wall
There's still
nature.
people going out there, of course.
Oh, guarantee it.
But yes.
So apparently,
That was one of the main inspirations. Go ahead.
apparently, I live near what's known as one of the creepiest towns in America. Yeah, like apparently Clearwater, fucking Florida. Yeah, I clicked on this video. It's like, because I'm like watching those type of YouTube videos where we go like shittiest hotel in Alabama or most expensive restaurant in New York, and I saw creepiest town in Florida. Like, okay, and Clearwater, like what? Like, ironically, that's where my family tomb is. And
apparently, there's also a horror short film called Clearwater from 2020.
I believe it.
But apparently it's ran by the cult of Scientology.
Oh, bro.
Yeah,
that checks out.
And
weirdly, that checks out.
I was looking at the timeline because they really kicked off in 2016 when he started expanding. Because I've been there in 2014 when I had we had to drop my mom's ashes, and it was just a dark, empty, kind of serene type of beach town. And then when I went there with my dad's ashes in 2022, the place looked like a fucking tourist attraction now. And like there's neon lights and people in suits following you around, it was insane.
That is one group of people I will not fuck with.
Yeah, I just like stayed in the Hooters.
They scare me to death.
Honestly, they're just nerds.
No, I've heard what they've done.
Yes, they can't. Yes, they're scary nerds, but they are nerds. At a certain point, I'm not going to get super deep here.
Let's get back into the console wars.
Yes, consoles.
Let's start with some of the more obscure consoles. Like there's the 3DO, which came first in late '93, as a competitor to the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. Like Frodo, I remember that commercial. Like Frodo's old consoles out there, just chucking Genesis and Sega Nintendos in the trash, and get a 3DO for $700 in '93.
Well, back then the dollar was also a lot stronger.
I'd say because '93, it's like because I think you can get 700 a lot quicker nowadays, but in '93, holy shit, that's like half a car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh balls! I'll be right back. The cat's knocking something over. Give me 1 second.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's saying, and then there's other obscure consoles such as the Atari Jaguar.
Yep.
And even my one friend who owns every single game stripe says, Yeah, not really worth collecting for.
It's just yeah.
There's only like a handful of okay games on it.
But yeah, 3DO kind of was. It was one of those FMV consoles. I think the Sega CD was kind of superior. Or it's an old PC if you want FMV games.
I actually disagree with that.
Our PS1 is also a good FMV console.
I don't know. I don't know. I'll be the 3DO defender here because I actually have a 3DO literally right by my knees right this second.
So you're the hipster in the room.
All right, break it on stream. Smash that thing. Go for it. I'm recording.
Do it.
All right. Just don't tell the person I gave it to me for free.
No.
But no, I mean, there are some FMV games, like there's literally like Space Ace and
Oh shit!
Brawl.
Okay.
But there's also some like really, really great hidden RPG gems on there, such as Guardian Wars, a fantastic strategy RPG you've never played, but you should.
All right, I'm back. Crash is averted.
You missed it. We're talking about 3DO.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's fantastic other games, such as the Two Dungeon Dragon RPGs on it.
Mm-hmm.
There is,
And this is like
a
AD
fantastic
era,
version of Dragon Slayer, but it's really, really freaking hard. There's some hidden gem horror games such as Dr. Hauser.
Oh.
Which did recently get an English version. 3DO, for the record, is also region-free, so it's one of the first region-free systems, too.
Ooh.
The only games I know being exceptions like Guardian War, the US and Japanese version are region-free, but the PAL version isn't. They go free on that. Sorry, yep, you got shorted once again during this era.
Sorry, I just looked up Dr. Hauser. I am a sucker for this art style. I'm gonna be perfectly honest.
Well, I mean, not that I condone and piracy and stuff like that, but I don't think anyone's exactly protecting the 3DO IP right this second.
Fair.
So I mean, if you go,
I was gonna say, especially if it's not in the circulation anymore.
Yeah, if it's a dead console and everything. Like
my ISP's been really cracking down on me for downloading totally torrents. I got chill until the heat dies down.
Get Tilly. Ixnay on the Orente.
This is just.
But the emulation is considered very good for that system for anyone that's curious.
Especially for dead consoles.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jaguar emulation got really good in the last several years.
I've heard good things about it.
So, for anyone that actually wants to try some Jaguar games out, but does not feel comfortable using emulation, check out the Atari 50th Anniversary Collection. It came out Switch and other consoles and this and that. People basically took that emulator out, developed by Eclipse. And it's a very, very, very accurate emulator that's now you can use on your PC willy-nilly.
Interesting.
And I mean, hey, it's got console-exclusive Bubsy. It's considered the worst Bubsy.
I mean,
yes, the true incentive, like, hey, the greatest ever, the best game to advertise for this particular emulator, Bubsy 3D. You gotta play it.
No, not Bubsy 3D. It's a 2D Bubsy. It's really, really bad.
Sorry, my
I remember
apologies.
that one.
Yeah.
All right, who's Willie and Nilly? It's just
they're your cousins. You're Tilly and there's Nilly.
Oh my god.
Oh fuck, you did it. Okay.
How has that joke not been made before?
Easy. Because I didn't say it beforehand.
But like, I remember back then people were like, "We want to play some Jag." I'm like, "The fuck are you talking about?" Let's see here. But yeah, Atari Jaguar. Yeah, it was pretty rough. Surprisingly, I was able to play an Atari Jaguar CD that worked.
You've actually had one that worked?
Yeah, I found it fits. Because basically, like the disc tray is designed so bad that it crushes the disc. It can't spin. So I took a piece of essentially, yeah. They borked their own design. So I took a little piece of packing foam.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
At least the Jag has one thing of note.
What?
They sold the molds and they became dentistry machines.
That's true.
I was gonna say, I'm looking at the controller for this thing. It looks like something that would go in like an old hospital or like a rotary phone, sorry, not a rotary phone, a landline phone, or something. Like, what the hell is this?
Look, for some odd reason, the 70s and 80s, that was like the controller design they kept pushing in the West, and then it died throughout the entirety of the 80s, and Atari looks and said, let's bring it back. And then
Yeah.
the Jag, failed, so it didn't really catch on.
It looks so dumb. I'm sorry. That controller looks so stupid to me. Like, I don't even know how to. It's just a brick.
But yeah,
I'm gonna try to look
interesting.
at the NES controller.
like I said, I was able to get the
Yeah,
the
touche.
Jaguar CD to work by just taking a piece of like packing foam and sticking it in there.
I never would have thought of that.
Now,
Oh,
albeit a
no.
week later, it broke down forever anyway. But I got to play a couple games.
It looks so jank. It looks so fucking jank.
Yeah, they call it the toilet. Also, yeah, we opened it up to like the heat sink. With all the microchips, it's like in the far corner. It's away from all the major like bits and chips and stuff. Like,
okay.
It was bad.
That's at least smart.
It was bad design.
yeah.
Oh.
No,
Oh,
you want the
sorry.
heat
Okay,
sink
sorry,
in
no.
the middle of it all to
Yeah, you want
absorb
the
all the
heat
heat.
sink right next
Yeah.
to the hot thing.
Oh, sorry. I understand now. Oh, right. So,
Yeah.
okay. No, now I get it. Now I
Yeah.
get it. Okay. Yeah, it was literally. Oh.
It was burning itself to death.
Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
yeah.
It was only basically venting the one corner of the console.
Basically.
Yeah.
Okay, now I understand.
Yeah, it was so horribly designed, and everyone's looking at Sega like, "The fuck were you thinking?" And they're like, and everybody look at like the joke was at the time. It was because of the time cocaine.
Yeah.
And speaking of Sega, I didn't really count this one as a 15 console, but the Sega 32X technically counts.
Technically,
I have no idea what that is.
I'm only gonna let it pass on a technicality.
Because it's an add-on to the 4th gen Sega Genesis and CD, so that's why I count it as a 4th gen. But
And there's a couple okay games on it too,
Yes.
but I've never had the fortune of playing one. But I mean, there's Knuckles Chaotix.
Yeah.
That was like one of the only good games.
Yeah, because
I heard the Star Wars arcade port on there is pretty decent too.
You gotta
yeah.
dock a spaceship on top of it. This thing.
Though, still speaking of Sega, I mean, we do have the Sega Saturn, and I kind of personally use a niche system of that genre, unless you live in Japan.
Yeah, that was my understanding. It blew up in Japan, didn't do as good in the States.
Yeah,
Here's the funny thing with Japan. A lot of Japanese, it outsold the N64 in Japan, while everywhere else in the world, the N64 sold out the Sega Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
because Nintendo was really big in Japan.
yeah.
Well, with the exception of the N64, that's one of their lesser popular consoles.
I can backtrack real quick. Because a lot of people, I would often hear on the internet like no one owned a Sega CD. Man, me and every kid in my class had a Sega CD. Which talk about now is the Sega 32X that no one really had. Yeah, like you had to be a rich asshole for that thing.
I had never heard of this thing before, like 30 seconds ago.
It was a gem. Like if you knew someone that had it, that family was loaded.
Yeah, pretty much. And
Clearance.
two before we get back to the Sega Saturn, as far as the obscure ones go. But there was in Japan only the PCFX, which apparently it was really good for full motion video games. But it, like I said, basically the library was kind of meh. Like the games were more like cutscene than gameplay, so it never really took off.
What the hell?
Yeah, it looks like a little computer, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm like, this looks like a tiny fucking.
It was a little pre-built. That's really all it was.
Yeah. 30 years later, we
I
get the
kinda
mini
love
rigs.
it,
Yeah,
weirdly.
I like it too. Well, funny because I was getting the pictures for the background of this podcast, like the little slideshow, and I'm like, really? The site doesn't have any 32X wallpapers, but it has a PCFX wallpaper.
Well, of course. Another great handheld of the era is a Neo Geo Pocket.
Oh, I love the Neo Geo.
I never got to play any Neo Geos.
I got to
Ever.
play. I got to play it for like 10 minutes.
Oh.
And a cousin of mine had it,
Oh,
and
you guys,
we
the
couldn't-
bootleg Game Boy Color. I'm gonna get shot for this.
well, as someone who actually does own a Neo Geo Pocket Color, let me tell you this:
Go on.
as the best clicky analog stick you'll ever use.
Oh yeah, that looks as a fidget toy. That looks fucking amazing.
the clicks were
So,
real.
It has an amazing, a pretty okay Metal Slug and then a really good Metal Slug. It has arguably one of the best fighting games of all time from the handhelds. The SNK versus Capcom Master Millennium is fantastic and amazing.
I've heard nothing but good things.
Oh.
It has an interesting Sonic 2-ish port. It's kind of a little bit of its own thing, but it's mostly based on Sonic 2 and a little bit of Sonic 3. Sonic Pocket is really good. Or Sonic Pocket Adventure, I believe is the full title. You know, it's a system worth just diving a little bit into. If you guys get a chance, if you don't want to again emulate, there's 2 collections out on Steam that you
I was
got
gonna say that. Look,
get.
there's also they're also available on the Switch. It looks like.
They are.
So if you got a PlayStation,
Or
the
no.
Castlevania collections are like on sale, $4 a piece. Pretty decent deal.
Damn.
Another handheld, which I consider more of a handheld, but it's listed consoles. The Virtual Boy.
I was
Oh.
waiting for this one.
Oh,
This is the one one of the ones I have heard about and how fucking weird it was.
can confirm it gives you eye strain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say this.
It's all red. It's all red.
So that's where the term "I'm seeing red" comes from.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
wait,
Hold on, wait. I hope.
but
I
in all
wish.
seriousness, it does have some decent games. The Wario game on there is
Mhm.
fantastic. The Jack Brothers game is even better. I don't know why they put it on that system, but it's fantastic.
You
Yeah,
know,
Also part of the Shinkai
This
Tensei
se-
series.
this
And
seems
first-
like the type of console that'd be perfect for playing horror games on.
Yeah, well, guess what? There
Hmm.
is a horror game on there,
I knew it.
Which one?
and it has an English translation.
Which game is this?
I forgot the name off the top of my head. And on top of it, someone decided to make a random generator with the game too. So you can play for all you want.
Is it a Japanese game?
Yes.
Is it Innsmouth no Yakata?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Ah, okay. Ooh, okay. All right, I'm actually intrigued by this.
But like I said, there's a random dungeon generator for the game too. So if you love it, there's even more.
Huh.
And
Fascinating.
if you guys
Huh.
do use RetroArctic plates, you guys can make the system black and white. So you can reduce your eye strain.
That's a relief. Yeah, as much as I love this conceptually, I can only imagine how much of a pain this would be on the eyes over a few hours.
Yeah.
Well, I
The
think
one
ours
time
is a little
everyone's
much.
like, "Can you please put this in black and white?" I'm like, "Fine." And my eyes started hurting too, so I'm like, "Double fine."
Yeah, like if this is like bright crimson red 24/7, like I would not enjoy playing this regularly.
I say just like
Dear Lord.
have some eye drops and aspirin on the counter next to you.
Yeah. I can also only presume that trying to I'm already nearsighted. I need to wear glasses to see. I'm not 100% sure whether or not I would have a good time trying to use this.
It was definitely an effort.
Yeah. I love the concept. I am unsurprised it didn't really, kick off.
And unfortunately, it was the last system ever developed by Yokoi, the legendary
Oh.
Game Boy designer.
Oh, damn.
Well, while he had his tenure at Nintendo, he had one more system afterwards, which belonged in the next generation of consoles, the Wonder Swan. But I suppose that's for another time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's a nice Japanese one.
Oh.
Let's see here. Also, handheld wise, I believe it was the Sega Nomad.
Yeah, which is just
Yeah.
Genesis.
Yeah, it's the portable Genesis.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Again, it looks like it looks like a fucking camera.
I knew someone that actually owned a Nomad.
Yeah.
They're
I never
cool with
saw
their
one.
battery guzzlers.
Oh yeah.
Oh dear. Oh, I can believe it. Huh.
But
Yeah,
hey,
That just looks like that just looks like a camera. I'm sorry. That just looks like it looks like you're toting around a fucking like
No,
classic.
what had
camera.
an actual camera was the Game Boy Color, and it
Right.
works.
Yep.
I'm sure it was a phenomenal camera.
It even had a printer.
Oh right, shit! I forgot about. Yes, I do remember hearing about that.
But yeah, if I'm not honest, I think the Game Boy Advance is a bit still better. But hey, we had Pokemon, some really underrated gems. There's a Metal Gear Solid game on there, a couple RPGs,
Yep.
good shit.
and even had the launch of well, I wouldn't say launch, but it started a prolific company that would eventually become Way Forward.
Yep. Oh,
While Shantae would appear on there, and a couple
Shantae's
other good Way
amazing.
Forward games,
Oh shit! Okay.
such as Wendy Every Which Way. If you guys want a good 45-minute title, there you guys go. It's not difficult.
Oh. Huh. Yeah.
But yeah,
I
that's
actually. Huh. I never heard of these guys before.
Way
Oh.
Forward.
Yeah, I've heard of. Surprisingly, I've heard of Shantae, but I've never actually heard of the company behind it. Damn.
They typically make quality games. There are some stinkers, but the stinkers are they even made like
Yeah,
we
it
made
looks.
this
Yeah, it
stinker
looks like they made a
game
bunch
with
of
the
games
depth
from
of it.
other IPs or like ports for other IPs.
Yeah, like they did like the River City Girl games, which are fantastic.
Wait, did they make a Boy and His Blob?
They did. Well,
Oh,
the
shit.
modern one.
Okay. Huh. Damn. Surprised I haven't heard more about these guys.
We'll revisit them on the Way Forward podcast, right, Tilly?
so I don't know too much about them, but we could look into it.
Well, now,
Oh shit! Oh shit!
this is my way of
They also made
holding you
Advanced
guys
Wars.
and playing more of their games. So
I
yeah,
can do some research.
How? Damn! Apparently this just slipped under the radar for me. Yeah, they made Advanced Wars, which is another game series I want to fucking
well,
play.
they did the remake.
like-
They didn't make the initial.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I mean, still, that's
But yeah, they have a
Damn.
particular art style and they're good with it.
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, Matt.
very solid.
Yeah, Matt Bozos, I believe is his name, which is one of the owners of the company. He has a very distinctive art style. And
If
plus,
you're
they
good at
also have a
something, just run
decent
with it.
working relationship with Studio Trigger.
Nice. Sorry, what were we saying, Tide?
Oh, I was gonna say, if you're good at something, just run with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Okay,
mean, no sense in fixing what's not broken, right?
true.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Got another
myself.
weird console for us to.
Now we're getting to the good shit. Let's circle back to that Sega Saturn.
Yep.
Ah, there we go.
Oh man. So Sega Saturn, yeah, like this one literally was. It came and gone so damn quick. Like at least with the Dreamcast, I heard like okay, the first launch of them was bad. Like they overheated, so the second wave fits that. But they also had the you can just totally like copy their games onto CD disc, which I might have did that as well.
But it couldn't
oh.
play DVDs.
So, interesting thing, there was a DVD player prototype made, just never produced.
Oh,
So,
never got off the chopping block.
basically, they previewed it, and then it just never happened.
Yep.
Ah, damn.
It was one of the things that fell through the cracks of time.
Yep.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm looking at pictures of the Sega Saturn. I realized there's the one controller that has like it looks like a massive fucking like circle.
So that's the 3D controller, which be used like
Okay.
in Night and stuff like that. And Nights in the Dream's a decent game, except
I was like, this looks like a paint palette.
it kind of does.
A little bit.
Huh.
But I'll be straight with you. The game's designed for Nights and Dreams. It's a good game. It's admittedly one that doesn't click with me.
yeah. I think they can get the
Ah.
HD remaster on Steam. But and it's the problem with the Saturn though is that even though I bought one, I couldn't collect nothing for it because everything is so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Even and this was like 10 years ago. It was too
Which-
expensive, so it's probably even bigger now. The prices.
Yeah, it's considered a retro and everything.
Oh,
and-
like every game was like $50 minimum.
Artifact.
Oh yeah, like I remember I started collecting for 15 years ago. Some games are still affordable. Yeah, not anymore, buddy. However, while still not the cheapest, you could buy a Japanese system, which I do have, and
Yeah,
it's one way to collect for it.
yeah, that's what. Cause I gave my Sega Saturn to a fellow retro collector, and yeah, he got most of his shit from Japanese, so imports and stuff for cheaper.
Interesting.
But yeah, it was super expensive. In fact, like with the not the PlayStation Vita, I was like, this is the Sega Saturn of PlayStation because the games are like the most expensive to collect for. But yeah, the prices were appalling. The games though, not half bad. As someone who played a lot of Sega CD and PS1, this literally felt like a mesh of the two. Cause there's a lot of like sequels to Sega CD games. There's there's a couple of FMVs, but yeah, some PlayStation art styles, some really good graphics and JRPGs. A decent amount of beat 'em ups, a lot arcade games. But all in a good system, just so damn expensive. And I don't know why they dropped the ball so hard.
I believe it.
Like it didn't even get a mainline Sonic game, for fuck's sake.
You know, well, funny thing, because I hinted towards this a little bit earlier, or at least I thought I did. So basically, the Japanese are like, "What's Sonic?" to Sega, and they're like, "Uh-oh." Then that's why Sonic Jam was made.
Oh wait, really? Was Sonic never really like advertised or like shown much in Japan?
So the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive in Japan, that is a third place console in Japan. You know,
Huh.
behind the NES and the PC Engine, also known as the TurboGrafx in the West.
I want a PC engine.
Okay.
So needless to say, on Saturn taking off more, like, oh, what's a Sonic? And Sega Japan's like, okay, that's an issue.
Yeah, they haven't heard of our
That's-
mascot. This is
That's fucking wild to me.
And it's funny because the Sonic was made to contest against Mario.
Yeah, I'm surprised that like no like it was so wait so like I'm sorry, this is this is very new to me. I've never heard of this. Like I was familiar with the fact that Sonic was introduced as a rival to Mario, and like Sega and Nintendo were beefing over turf. They were the two main rivals in Japan in the gaming sphere. But like Sega just didn't advertise their main mascot in Japan at
It's
all.
not that they didn't. It's Sega is a much more popular, and I'm talking at the era, Western company.
Oh,
In the West, it's like I said, Sega Genesis was doing really good. Our third place was their
Okay.
second place.
Okay, okay. Sorry, gotcha.
So it's
Because I was even trying to think like stupid question. Sega was originally a Japanese company, or was it a Western company?
Actually Western, but bought by a Japanese.
Okay, that's why I was confused.
Because Sega
Okay.
stands for Service Games, Service, SA, Games, GA,
Huh.
Sega. It was originally a Hawaiian company, bought by the Japanese.
Huh. Oh shit.
Yep.
I never actually knew that. Okay, now that makes a little bit more sense. Okay.
Look, you
Damn.
that's Tilly. I just have all this information just all stockpiled in my brain.
Oh no, I absolutely get it. I
seem to be a really good
understand the
Sega guy.
hyperfixation.
That's why
Yeah.
Tilly sometimes pokes me with a stick, like, give me more information about Sega. Okay.
Or
You
where's
want
the
the PUBG as
comics?
well?
No.
And he's like, stay in there.
Ironically, it's like no one really clicked on the Sega CD / Saturn our podcast topic. I don't know why. Okay.
I find that very sorry. Well, this will be the last thing, and then we. Sorry if you want to keep moving.
Go ahead.
I find it very ironic that as much as the Sega Saturn. You said Sega Saturn was one of the most was much more. Sorry, you said it was more popular in Japan than elsewhere in the world. Not that it was
Correct.
the most popular.
And I can explain a little bit why too.
Okay.
Because Sega of Japan and Sega of America did not get along.
Ah,
The Sega
that's what it
Japans are like,
is.
all right, we're gonna accept like all kind of games here, 2D, 3D, this and that. Sega Japan's like, or Sega America's like, all right, we should push for more 3D games because that's what's more popular over here. Because the Sega Saturn has like a really, really amazing 2D processor during an era where we're transitioning to 3D.
Right.
So the Saturn had an additional processor playing almost last second to do 3D. And it was really, really, really hard to code for. So the Saturn was the hardest system to code for of that era. And they had other weird quirks, such as, and this is a question to all you guys, when you think of a polygon, what shape is a polygon?
Point triangles?
Like triangles,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sega Saturn's was rectangles. You see the issues here.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why? How?
Yeah.
Oh, because it was it literally just taking like square rectangle pixels and like extrapolating?
So no, they were rectangles by default. So you had some of the vertices is 0 to make it into a triangle. Yeah.
Huh?
So Sega Saturn was really hard to program for and everything.
A little bit of a mindfuck, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is great. It's also coming from me who knows jack shit about like early programming. But
I
that's
can hear
really
it.
weird.
I hear it in your head. You're like, how did it make it work? And it was like with difficulty.
Yeah, I understand why. I understand why it was jank as hell. If that was like their foundation.
Well, here's the other problem too. Sega America was given a lot of freedom during the Genesis, and that's why the Genesis got so successful. During the Saturn era, Sega Japan's like, we want a lot more control over what you guys do in the West. And then everyone went, uh-oh, and that's why the Sega Saturn library in the West really suffered. Because there's only like...
Gotcha.
I forgot how many games are in the West, but there's 3, almost 4 times many Sega Saturn games in Japan.
Gotcha, okay.
Including some amazing titles that we never got in the West.
Damn.
That probably would have done really well.
I guarantee you they would have done well.
Mm-hmm.
Except instead it was the oh my god, brain! I literally brain N64. Except instead the N64 is the one that caught the trends, and rose across the charts. Also, I apologize, Tilly, for opening the Sega door wider when you were moving on to another topic. It sounded like.
Did you actually see that little video of a turtle forcing itself through a door?
Oh yes. I know the tortoise.
Oh man.
I think it was.
Pandora's box. What can I say?
Let's see here. Should we talk about the PlayStation or the Nintendo first?
Mine on Nintendo because it comes first in the alphabet.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah, it came after technically, but yeah, because that was the first the 5th gen console I had. So I went from Sega Genesis to Nintendo 64.
Same.
Yeah, that was a pretty good Christmas. Got the Mario Kart, got Mario 64, Star Fox 64. There's a lot of 64 titles. In the names.
Ocarina of Time.
Good times there. I got the boomer because I played Ocarina of Time, but I played it like opening the day, the weekend it fucking dropped. Yeah, I rented it, and so I haven't played it since. So that was like 30 years ago, or something like that.
Damn.
Yeah, so yeah, it's like I've been playing Ocarina of Time for like the first time all over again. Yeah, but
damn, you are old. I'm sorry.
Wow.
All right, so I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
Uh,
All right.
I fucking love Mario
lay my head on
Party.
the chopping block.
But yeah, and it's a good console. Mario was sturdiest console I've ever seen. Like you could like step on that thing and drop a fucking big screen TV on top of it, and it won't even crack.
I'm convinced you could hit that
Damn.
sumbitch with a sledgehammer and nothing would happen to the damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, well, the
Was
PlayStation
this considered the Nokia of the gaming consoles?
Yes.
pretty much like the PlayStation. Bless its heart, you just you
Gotcha.
step on that thing, your foot's going right through it.
This was some quality plastic.
Yeah.
I'm convinced you could have a you can make a bulletproof vest out of N64.
Out of N64s.
Oh fuck! Before we go further, I forgot about. We also had the Game Com system. On the Safari's handhelds go. That was.
Oh, there was another one.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, that was bad. It was bad.
Sorry, what was it? How do you spell it?
The Game Com or Gamescom.
Oh, the Gamecom. You know,
Why
I'm
would
gonna be
you
real with you
remember
guys.
that?
The only game
Oh.
worth your time on there, and it never officially came out, is Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Huh.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
basically.
this looks
and
this
off-
looks like they tried to turn a calculator screen into
Yeah.
a gaming console.
Yeah, it looks like a
Well, yeah.
thermostat, doesn't it?
I mean, it's by the guys that did the Tiger handheld. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that's
They did RE2 on that thing.
And you know what? It's the first game since I've ever had a
Oh,
touchscreen.
that's why it looked familiar. Okay. Mm-hmm.
And one thing I wish actually took off was the Pocket Station.
Oh, hang on. I have played some of these.
Yeah.
This is digging up a very deep cut of my memory. Like I vaguely recall playing one or two of these at my friend's house.
Yeah.
Like
FFA
it's
tried to
clear-
get it over,
yeah.
but yeah.
because they're just like singular like little games like packaged with the little console, if I understand correctly.
Yeah. Now.
Okay.
Oh man. Oh, apparently there's also another handheld I never heard of. It's called the Paso Go. Looks like a fucking Pip-Boy.
Paso Go?
Yeah, by Koei.
Hold on. How do you spell that again?
I'll just drop a picture in the chat here.
Okay, yeah, that would work better. I'm trying to look this. I'm trying to look up these names to get a reference of like what each of these things are or what they look like.
That.
Okay, what the hell is that?
It looks like a Pip-Boy, doesn't it?
It does. It does look like a fucking Pip-Boy. Oh my god. Yes. We have created the first digital Etch-a-Sketch.
Yep.
Like what the hell is this thing?
It's to play Go with.
Like what are those buttons? You got like an X button. Then you have a joystick, but then you have one side that's all D-pad. So why do you need a joystick? And one button.
It looks like the fucking the button on the left side is like a fucking clutch claw. It's like it's got pierced your thumb, so you gotta give it a piece of blood in order to turn it on. You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes. You
It
must
demands a blood
sacrifice.
I mean, it's
That's
battery
how you know it's energy
alternatives.
efficient.
Yeah, battery alternatives. You know, blood.
Great for your power bill, but
Yeah, battery hospital bill. Oh man, so now we're officially caught up with the obscure shit of the 5th gen. Back to Nintendo 64. So yeah, sturdy as fuck, but weird as fuck controller.
yeah.
It made no sense.
Looked like the head of a trident.
Okay. So the I was actually curious of this myself. I was like, that's a very weird looking console shape, or not console, the controller shape. And like the answer I'd found, or what I was given, is that it was originally intended that like you would hold it in different configurations depending on what game you're playing.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing racing games, you would turn it to hold these edges. If it was a platformer or something else, you'd hold it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how I understood it. I don't know how well it would have worked in practice, as far as I know, because all I've heard from a number of people is it's just jabbed into your fucking chest if you're trying to like hold it onto your lap.
Let's see. Yeah, I actually had one. I don't know if it was third party, but it basically only had the middle part. The side handles are gone.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It was also like see-through and stuff. So yeah.
So it's even harder to use. It sounds
Yeah.
like.
It was a nightmare.
What? At that point, now it's just a weapon. Now, okay, there you go. They literally gave you a fucking club and a shield. Is what they did as a gaming console. Is what it sounds like. Like you have the handle, you have the mallet, which is the controller, and then you have this indestructible fucking console that you just hold up for protection.
Oh, Tito. Imagine you use this for the shield, and then for a weapon you had the Duke. From the original Xbox.
Why?
You'd be like a real life tank.
Duke?
Why do you put this in my head?
Someone's got it.
Have you not heard of the Duke? Oh,
I have.
what?
It just...
No. Turtle hasn't heard.
Oh god.
It basically looks like a turtle shell.
Oh god, it does. Sorry, I was looking at the green transparent one. I was like, this looks like something that would be in Ben 10.
Yeah, that thing was so big, and I got a small hands but stubby fingers. Mine actually had air vents in the grips so they cool off your sweaty palms.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mine had a Mad Cat.
There's a purple one.
I had a Mad Cat. It was the same thing, and you cannot hold on to this thing for dear life.
Okay. Yeah, that does. It does look like you're kind of like you're holding it like oh my god, what am I thinking of? It's like a plate that you're holding almost.
More or less.
But the food just slides off.
Like it's very round. It does not look the most ergonomic. Huh. So N64. No, sorry.
Okay, but yeah, at least the controllers are also very colorful, too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's an iconic design.
Yeah.
For a reason, like it's bold colors. It's a very different controller shape. Like it's a very recognizable.
Yeah.
I absolutely recognize that. It's like it's recognizable. I recognize. Haha. It's very iconic. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
And so oh yeah, that was like the last. No. They still held on to the. But yeah, the essentially Nintendo wanted to keep with the cartridges. Yeah, that's the word. And I guess to their detriment, because a lot of companies were like limited by the by the hardware, because I guess CDs have more storage space. Like hence why Final Fantasy jumped ship to Sony. Because there actually is an FF7 in like prototype for N64, and looks extremely different.
Yep.
I think in some ways the competition was good between a lot of them companies leaving Nintendo, because inadvertently, I think because that's now granted, games we're talking about technically came out of GameCube but started development in N64, such as Eternal Darkness and Resident Evil 0.
Mm-hmm.
So Nintendo's getting more used to the idea of mature games on their system. So I think inadvertently that helped Nintendo mature up a little bit. So I think like more competition always a good thing.
Oh yeah, because that's when Majora's Mask came out. It was like a first major forgive me if I'm wrong. Majora's Mask was one of the first like mature pushes in terms of like that era of gaming for Nintendo. Or am I misunderstood?
I there's earlier things such as like Earthbound, because Earthbound is freaking dark.
Oh shit, you're right. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. Yeah, never mind.
However,
I forgot about Earthbound.
I mean, N64 is still interesting that some of their canceled titles would still eventually, be on Earth, such as Mother 3, Earthbound 2.
Oh.
They eventually would die that generation, but resurrect towards the end of the following.
Yep.
Towards the really end. or other ones like Doshin the Giant, which I know I never played, but the fact it was a 64DD exclusive, which was a peripheral for N64. Spoilers, if you ever see one, they are worth some money. And needless to tell you guys, take it if it's super cheap. But a lot of the games there stayed and died in that system. But a couple like that would at least get released on N64 or alternatively GameCube as well, such as Doshin the Giant. I mean, hell,
it's just a giant. It's just a giant fucking. Sorry, I just looked it up. It's just a giant fucking platform that you like slot your N64 into. That's interesting, huh?
Oh, and I posted a picture of the PlayStation Nintendo prototype.
Oh my god, what?
Tilly, do you know the story behind that picture?
I think there wasn't someone just found it in a fucking bots.
Kinda, but there's a little more to it.
Sure.
So one guy was on Reddit saying, someone had posted, and the one of the subreddits, today I learned, blah, 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 they were going to do it together. Someone, in the comments, like, I have one of those in my ad. Hammer was like, BS. No, you don't. No way. It's like, all right, I'll prove it to you guys. Okay, guys, it's going to take like 2 more weeks. Everyone's like, OP is lying. No way he has it. Holy crap, he has it.
Yep.
So it's just one of those hilarious things. OP is lying. Oh god, OP came through.
That's some Mandela looking, like Mandela effects type of shit. It makes me think of like in some alternate timeline, this is the main console that got big instead.
Nintendo and Sony had a much better, time working together because apparently their contract was not that good until Nintendo's like, I'm backing out. Bye. I'm gonna go work with Philips for the CDI.
Oh boy.
Damn.
But I don't know if CDI counts this gen or last gen.
I'm guessing the last gen.
I
it's
feel
not
like
on the wiki, but yeah, I get you.
I
Could be last gen.
I feel like it's one of those iffy, like it kind of can go very end of the 4th, very start of the 5th, depending who you ask.
Okay, finally we arrive at the PlayStation, which was probably the champ of the 5th gen.
Yep.
The myth, the legend,
the big boy,
the chonker.
Oh man, Sony PS1. Oh man. Remember FF7, freaking Suikoden, Metal Gear. So many good fucking games. Symphony of the Night.
You had a bunch of weird platformers.
Oh yeah.
It's so many hidden gems.
Spyro and Crash.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, like Kodelka. Resident Evil.
Guardian Crusade.
This is also when Gex came about, if I remember.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gex. I have to go back to it. Is originally a 3DO title.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Which, guys, I would like to tell you guys today about this holy relic I have in my hand, the Book of Gex, the novelization of Gex 3 that I have in my hand.
Nice. I still remember one of my favorite games on PlayStation. It was a platformer, and I think it just got approved for a remaster or re-release.
Yeah, Croc. I actually beat Croc not that long ago. Not that long ago, like 3 years ago.
It was a really charming.
Oh, this looks cute.
It was very charming. Croc and the Legend of the Goobos, if memory serves, is the title. It was very charming, very adorable.
Oh my god, it looks amazing.
It was fun. And that was just kind of a bargain bin kind of. No, actually, we got it. I learned about it because, okay, Nature, I'm about to blow your mind. Back in the day, in some magazines and some stores, you could get demo discs, and those would have about 15 different 15 different games on one disc with like a piece.
Oh shit! Sorry. Okay, sorry. Because at first I was like, oh my god, I never heard about this. Sorry, I didn't hear about the fact that there were 15 demos on it. Oh, that's news to me.
Yeah, like it was like one level of 15 different games on some of these demo discs for PlayStation. It was
That's
actually
fucking dope.
That reminds me of some things.
it was actually pretty legit, and that's how a lot of it was basically like the first first open beta test.
So you remind me of something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a demo disc of Crash Bash. You know,
Now that
love
I
it or
didn't
hate it.
know exist.
Well, here's the interesting thing.
Crash Bash.
If
was
you have the
okay.
demo disc, you have the full game. The cheat codes still work, and the rest of the game is actually on the disc.
Oh,
No
interesting.
shit.
Yep.
Oh,
That is amazing.
Wait, this looks familiar. Wait, was this the Crash Bandicoot game I played? I think it was. I think? Wait. Was it? This looks familiar. This is digging up deep swaths of my memory. Huh.
Swab.
What? How the fuck did my grandma get this?
Probably found
the
it in a
bargain bin.
bargain bin, dude.
Damn you,
See-
Granny.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, probably. How? Huh?
Been for bargains.
I'm just hoping the remake that comes out sometime next year is good because the base game is
Good.
fine. It's just I hope you like tank controls.
Huh.
My.
And
Sorry, this is. No, good. Keep going. Keep going.
and the nice thing
Nate's-
is they gave you options to play with the original tank controls in the upcoming re-release.
I was going to say it sounds like Nate's
Oh
brain is broken
god.
a little bit.
No, yeah, because my brain keeps going like my grandmother was Mennonite. How the fuck did she manage to find this fucking gem? Of like, of all of the people, okay, you know what? Sure.
Yeah.
Fuck
Grandma
it, I
knew how to
guess.
Grandma knew how to party.
Yeah.
Apparently.
PlayStation also introduced like memory cards. At least made them mainstream.
Yep.
I have to see if she still has it or not.
I still remember figuring out how memory cards worked because Tilly remembers back when we were kids, the SNES and the NES, they had their own save file things on there. You normally had only about 3 save files per cartridge and everything, but normally that was all you.
Mm-hmm.
But then when
Yeah.
PlayStation came out, the games were a lot bigger, and it was just a disc. So we didn't know that we needed the memory card for the longest for a little bit until it was like we tried to save a game, and it was like saving on memory card not found, and we're like, Mom, we gotta go to the store. Why? We need a memory card, or we can't save our games.
What does that even mean?
Oh.
I got a little horror story about that.
No.
So my very first PlayStation, got for Christmas, and the memory card that came that I got with it had a virus in it.
You told me this.
Oh
I know the story.
no.
So yeah, so in the virus, what it did is it basically it killed the controller ports.
Oh no.
Yeah, so essentially all I could do is just kind of like put in the disc and watch the opening cutscene. That's about fucking it. And
That sucks.
It breaks
yeah.
your system.
that was the Christmas curse. But
Oh.
thankfully, like I think like maybe like less than a month later, I got my parents got me another one because I got good report card grades. I will expect I can't play video games, so I'll study. I guess.
And then that
Damn.
following thing completely dropped off.
Right. Oh man.
Mm.
But and yeah, so we got to do PlayStation, but then I also didn't have a memory card though. Because US like the, not USB, but the RGB cables weren't even common back then. So we had to get like the a little adapter that you had to like screw into the prongs in the back of your old ass TV. But I didn't even have that, so I was like stuck. I was in my parents' bedroom playing it for like a month, and because they were the only TV that had the color plugins, and I didn't have a memory card, so I was constantly playing the first like 4 or 5 hours of Final Fantasy VII over and over again. Like I get I get out of Vidcar, and then that had to wrap up. So my parents finally got me a memory card and a adapter for the old TV. But yeah, that kind of blew, man. So and it was a Mad Catz memory card, so I was like paranoid about Mad Catz stuff forever.
Everybody I've talked to had no good experience with any Mad Cat stuff.
You know what the funny part is?
The funny-
Mad Catz was considered good in their
Yes.
twilight years before they died.
Oh, before they died, yeah, they were actually, reliable. But when they first came onto the scene,
Oh yeah, no, they were garbage.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm just like, who approved this shit?
Well,
I-
everyone
well-
kept saying good shit about her. Everyone had stuff of theirs, but I was the only one that had nothing but bad things to say about him. I was talking to Heresy, you know.
Yep.
Mm,
Like I talk shit on Mad Cats openly to my buddies and everything, and they're like, "Why?" I was like, "Why do you think these things are good? These things are trash." Like my buddy had a Mad Catz memory card, like you said, Tilly,
Yeah.
and this son of a bitch fell apart when he opened it out of the package. Like he opened the little plastic container it was in,
Yeah.
and it was one of those old plastic containers that you damn near need a lightsaber to open with.
mm-mm.
And
Oh, yeah.
oh no, dude, it was in there. Like I swear the guys who made it didn't want that shit out.
That's just,
But as soon as he opened it and picked up, the corner of it, it just fell apart. Like there was no, like I guess they didn't put any glue on it or no screws in it, so nothing was holding it together. Like only the package itself was holding it together. And I'm like,
Oh,
what do you do in that
dear.
situation? He's like, mom called the company and they sent us a new one.
Eh. Well, there you go. Damn. I
Uh,
feel like I feel so privileged. I feel, I feel
Oh,
so like
you're young.
like
You get to-
like just
like we had to go through
knowing
trials
knowing and hearing the horror stories.
Oh, so
like all of this.
you were born before memory cards. You don't have to worry about that shit.
Yeah.
Boy,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
crazy.
Again, I'm a Y2K kid. Like, I was
Like-
born after these consoles came out.
Oh yeah, and I remember the PlayStation Extra features were so cool back then too. Because if you didn't put it in the disc, you would get like a CD player, and like you also get to see your memory card data.
Right, I remember
And
that.
all the blocks had like their own special like gift art and stuff. And
Yeah.
if you threatened to delete your save, the art would start crying and stuff. You know.
Yeah, it was certain certain save files. If it had like a face on it, it would start crying.
Yeah.
Oh.
And for some reason, if you wanted to copy your save, there's like fuck yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yes, I remember. Yes, okay, I have heard about this part. Okay, yes, okay. That's when they actually put in a lot more like little custom animations and
Yeah.
stuff on the title screen.
Yep.
Like,
I feel it's a little charm
that-
lost to modern gaming today.
And what's cool is
yeah,
how some PlayStation.
it sounds so charming.
Yeah.
Is yeah.
And I'll say this: out of all those systems back in the day, the PlayStation 1 still has like the best opening sounds ever.
Oh yeah.
Oh
me and Billy,
yes.
If we hear
Bow.
that PlayStation 1 startup, we instantly go back to our childhoods for just a little bit.
We orgasm.
It was good shit, dude.
Nostalgasm.
Yeah.
My roommate, he has a PS5 and everything, and said, I guess for the 30th anniversary, Sony basically lets you choose what opening you want for your PS5, so you could go through 1 through 4. So
Like
when he
4 had
gets home
one?
from work, huh?
Like 4 had one.
I guess it did, but I didn't ever notice it. But I remember now whenever he gets home from work in the morning, but normally whenever I'm getting out of the shower, I hear his PlayStation start up, so I hear that PlayStation 1 sound effect going. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, my childhood.
It's like, yeah. It's the good shit.
It really was the good shit.
Any other big points to tackle?
Also like with the CD player,
list?
if you sometimes if you put in a PS1 game into the CD player portion, some PlayStation games actually had a soundtrack that you can just
Yep.
listen to. Like
Oh shit!
yeah, like if you
Yeah.
like pop like
That's
Twisted
the-
Metal
Oh
and
no, I do. No shit, I do remember this. okay. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
those are like Rob Zombie songs and stuff on the Twisted Metal soundtrack and stuff.
What?
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, the Twisted Metal soundtracks are fucking bangers, dude.
Yeah.
That sounds dope as shit.
Like if you want good early
Oh my
2000s
God.
soundtracks, pop in Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Fuck,
kids
I'm
today don't know
after
about Twisted
stream.
Metal.
And you know what? I blame Sony on that for letting the franchise die.
Yeah,
Well,
fuck you, Sony. I'm kidding.
Well, now
Well, I
that
mean,
now people are aware of it from the Amazon. Or was it the Amazon show?
Yeah.
I forgot who put it out.
Paramount? No, yeah, it might be Paramount.
But yeah, people now aware of Twisted Metal, and I have some of my buddies that are like, dude, have you seen this Twisted Metal show and everything? How did you know how awesome Twisted Metal is? Motherfucker, I grew up with Twisted Metal.
Well, yeah, if we just sit there and just think, hey, Sony, yeah, could you, maybe re-release the games bare minimum, to promote, the show, to promote your, thing? Why would we do that?
It's
Yeah,
like,
Sony, you just like leave the money on the table, don't you?
I'm just like, well, I'm convinced
Just want
Sony.
to kill that golden goose, eh?
No, if it was Sony, I think it's Sony America that's letting it die, like letting Sony die because they've been making a lot of bad decisions, and that's one of them is not taking advantage of the Twisted Metal fan base wanting another game, or rather a good game.
Oh, I just googled like a PS1 like accessories, and I seen one where basically a replacement optical laser. Like, oh, it's right, the PS1 laser. Like, there was always like fucking like what's the word? Not like faux pas, but like urban legend. Like, don't stare right at the laser; it'll fucking blind
yep.
you, or something like that. You know.
Yep.
And
Like modern like what's the word I'm looking for? I know what you're talking about. Not stereotypes, brain. There's literally a word for this.
folktale? No.
I guess yeah, folktale, like
What?
I need a thesaurus in front of me.
Okay.
I hate when this happens.
Can you even spell
It's
source?
fine. Shut the fuck up.
And so, but yeah, and like I remember like PlayStation, even though it was the best one, it probably had like the most jankiest working games though, because like essentially don't scratch your fucking disc, you know. You gotta care for that disc like it's a fucking like newborn infant, you know.
Yep.
Otherwise it's like okay, sometimes you had to clean the disc, which is like or get like the alcohol, or sometimes you just had to like clean the laser. Sometimes I actually had to like grab the laser and actually just like yank it back and forth, you know, to kind of like get like like shake off the rust, sort of thing.
Or do you remember what the method was? How to fix like really deep scratches back on those PlayStation 1 discs, Tilly?
Toothpaste?
Toothpaste.
I had to do toothpaste. I know some people had like that little solution that like kind of filled in the cracks. Or sometimes you actually had to like give it like a jump start, like put the disc in and just give it a spin and then close the lid.
Yep.
Yep.
I remember.
I remembered what the word was. Superstitions. Gaming superstitions. Go ahead.
Yeah, a buddy of mine actually had to do the jump start on his PlayStation.
I can believe it.
Oh,
That's one thing I don't miss that era.
oh yeah, there was the multi-tap adapter. It looked like a fucking boomerang.
I saw it in magazines. I never saw it in person.
Dropping a picture here.
Oh god, oh god, it's just a fucking L shape.
Yep.
Oh yeah. In case y'all want to play, there's probably like 10 games that have 3,000 that had 4-player support.
Yeah, it was only a handful of games that had more than 2 players on it.
Excuse me, your L, sir. Like,
Taking L's. Yeah, that looks like it would burn out or something, because I can't imagine 90s technology was that great.
yeah. I know I made the joke already, but this looks like the type of thing that you're taking an L on. Like if you try to use this damn thing.
I see what you did there.
Oh, I just remembered it's a 64 accessories, because in 64 you had there was a little slot in the back of the controller, and you could put 2 things into it. Either one, a memory card, so instead of the console went into the controller itself. And the memory cards of his 4 games were not that fucking good at all. No, it had maybe like kilobytes of space.
It was really small.
Yeah, like you can save like 2 or 3 games on there. Like,
Luckily, they were dirt cheap to get.
yeah, or you had the Rumble Pack.
Oh, I love the Rumble Pack.
So
Ooh.
I'm gonna trauma share.
Oh,
Oh
Fuck
dear.
Superman 64 because it corrupted all my save data as a child. Like
Rumble Pack?
2 years ago.
Oh no.
Like my level 99 level characters and Gauntlet Legends gone.
The Rumble Pack?
No, my memory card for it.
Oh.
Okay.
Or
So-
That sucks.
I was also gonna say, remember on the body of the N64 Tilly,
Mm.
where you had that little slot that you could take that little clip that you could open it
Yeah.
and take part of it out,
Yeah.
and you put an expansion pack in there, and that's how you're able to play Donkey Kong 64.
I would say, but like nobody got one of those. But yeah, it's select games, like, and really all it did was like improve the lighting and stuff like that.
Yeah, it wouldn't work if it didn't have that expansion pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the only required games to my knowledge off the top of my head are DK64, Majora's Mask, and to play the full game, Perfect Dark.
Oh god, what? Why does
Oh.
Perfect Dark ring a bell? Hold on.
Rare game got re-released on Xbox.
They got re-released not too
360.
long ago.
Oh, that's why. Okay. Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, I remember like
Interesting.
the Rumble Pack. Not only they had this cool fucking look like a spaceship add-on that's like attached to
Right.
it, but also you know like vibration for the first time. Holy shit!
And I'm gonna make people. I know I'm probably gonna put a little bit of trauma in Tilly.
All the
I don't know
ladies.
about you, Matt, and you, Nature Claw. Well, I know not you, Nature Claws, but
Mhm.
I'm
I am baby.
GoldenEye
Good times.
multiplayer.
I know it's a classic.
No. Odd Job.
I
I
don't
never
remember.
really played much of the multiplayer.
No, I played a lot of multiplayer.
Odd Job
like
was
that.
the shortest character in the game, and it was so hard to aim down
Yeah.
to hit him. Like
Oh
you
my
picked Odd Job if you wanted to ruin friendships.
Oh
Also,
god,
there's-
yeah, sorry. I
again,
just
so many
saw
cheat
the
codes.
models. His hat literally comes up to everyone else's shoulders.
You know what the weird thing is? Apparently in the movie, Odd Job is like not even canonically a short character.
Yeah, he's tall.
Yeah.
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 Huh.
He's just a regular guy.
Oh.
He had an anti-growth spurt. He shrank.
Hey, nature.
Yeah,
Yeah, why did they break his spine? Yeah, what's up?
Oh, I was gonna say, it's not family. This is actual Nintendo official N64.
Oh? Is this the Hey Pikachu one?
Yeah.
yes.
Oh.
It had
You
a
know,
little-
I had one friend that had it.
It had a little microphone that
and
you
that's
plugged
that's
into
the
the back.
microphone port. Yep.
No, you plugged it into the back of the controller,
Oh, and
and where the
oh.
memory card went, and you could actually hold your controller and talk to Pikachu, and he would respond.
Yes,
it-
I've heard
was-
of this.
It was a little janky, right, man?
It's
Oh,
that is the
yeah.
type of game I feel like I would have both loved and hated it as a kid.
It's
Yeah.
and the funny part is, despite never coming out of Europe, you know, some people with thick British accents try to play the game, and nope, won't work with a British accent. You gotta speak with an American accent.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it got a
Oh,
lot
there's
of hate because half the time it would not work.
I
There was
mean,
another game like that with voice controls.
oh, I
That was
know
like
what game you're
a
talking about on the
top-down-
PlayStation 2.
Top-down.
Yep.
What was it?
The game on PlayStation 2.
Yes, it was like you control a lady and you had to like tell her
Yep.
which like parts you needed to shoot at or like investigate, and I remember the voice recognition also being god awful.
God, so I just
But,
like,
wonder.
You kind of
I
needed
know
more of a
what you're talking
Japanese
about.
dialect, so it'd be a little racist-y. But like,
I
put a
remember-
little,
Yeah,
roll your
I heard
R's,
people doing a
basically.
southern accent had better work.
Well,
with
basically,
it.
you had to roll your R's and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes. So talking with a southern accent actually did help you in certain regards.
Like Rook over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got flashbanged by a fucking cursed memory that just showed up in my fucking head. No, Tilly is gonna hate me for this, but you remember the interactive game? I think it was on the Dreamcast. It was Seaman.
Yeah.
Oh no!
That thing
I
is
know what you're talking about.
that thing is
That
cursed.
terrifying.
Yeah. I
The
refuse to
fish
play.
with a human face and the
Yeah.
little like angular like diddle thing on the top
Yes.
above it.
Yeah.
Like it's like suction cup, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, it was so cursed. And it had a
Oh, that thing is so cursed. I love
and
it.
it had a I required a microphone because it would ask you questions. And
It
you'd have to
it like talks about philosophy
Yeah,
and,
like
and
advanced
like the
AI.
meaning of life and like existential like dread and shit like that is what I've heard.
Yeah, yeah, and it could be a troll too, because everyone's like, hey, look at me, like what? And he'd just be fucking. It's just like, okay.
Yeah, it was 7 shades of fucked, dude.
All right. As
Oh,
much as I would love to geek out more about
I would say we're
weird shit
kind
like
of wrapping
this.
up anyway.
Yeah, I was just saying I hate to press the clock, but I do need to start. I just need to start getting ready for my own shit.
Okay, but yeah, how do
Soon.
you feel like there's where a lot of your probably favorite branches started and stuff, you know?
This is fucking great.
Yeah.
H-
I
how'd
was
you
scared
go-
I wasn't gonna have a lot to talk about, to
How'd
be
you
honest.
enjoy your
Because
history lesson?
Yeah,
this was wild. This was great.
we did a lot of our Hey Nature back in our day. It's just-
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like I
Oh.
said, this is a gap in my collective knowledge. So
Yeah.
like seeing a lot of the weird shit
Oh,
has been really interesting.
I can say though that if you do ever get a Switch or something, yeah, the Nintendo 64's selection on the service is actually really good. Like represents a lot of their best games. Yeah,
I've
so
heard nothing but good things. I haven't.
Yeah.
I never. I
Mhm.
haven't dropped the $50 dude
Yeah.
to get that expansion, but I mean, I've seen the library online, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh god, there are gems galore.
Yeah, like there's not a really good like modern way to play like the best PlayStation, Sega Saturn stuff, but for N64, yeah, get the Nintendo Switch Online service if you got a Switch laying
And
around.
if I can make a suggestion, if you can afford it, get the controller.
Oh, okay, I guess yeah, that's right. They even have like little peripherals for them.
Yeah, they have a little an actual N64 controller that syncs up with your Switch and everything.
Yeah.
And it like for me and Utility, our muscle memory would come back instantly on some of these games.
So we about to play with the ladies there, Nature.
Yep. Yeah, the ladies are starting to poke me, being like, "Hey, you ready?"
Okay. Can you tell me hi?
What are you playing?
We're going to be playing some Satisfactory now that it's at
Nice.
1.0 release.
Nice.
But yeah, tell them I said hi, and yeah, we're gonna wrap
of
up here.
course.
Make it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I just told them we're wrapping up soon, and I'm going to go live in a little bit. So yeah, a pleasure. This has been a fucking treat.
Oh yeah, let's do
Was it
more.
eye opening?
Try to do at least one
Yeah,
podcast
absolutely.
a week. So.
Hell yeah, yeah. If schedules permitting, I would definitely love to do more shit like this.
Oh sure. I'll keep in
Hell
touch.
yeah.
All
yeah,
right.
yeah. Keep me posted. All right.
Back to the
All
wall.
right. All right.
Buddy.
All right. Take care, folks. Sorry, I have to back out.
Make sure you look up that pretzel salt.
Hey. All right. Sorry.
That's for the staff members only.
All right. There we go.
Okay.
Into the walls. Take care, everyone.
He didn't fix the hole.
If anything, he made it worse.
It's blended with the other holes, I guess.
I'll just get a big ass poster put over it.
No, we gotta fix those because those are holes that Slug could find her way in.
Oh wait, you just read at Red Real IRL. We actually covered up a lot of holes just because with posters. So my dad would get drunk and put the holes in the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are more holes that Slug's gonna find her way into, and she's gonna use them to go around the house like fucking Godzilla in the fucking MonsterVerse.
Want to hear a funny story, for Tito?
What do you got?
So, one time, this is the visual. My dad got drunk one night, and I heard like it sound like a boom on the wall, and stuff, and I went to investigate, and it's at night, and I turned the corner, and Dad is basically he basically fell forward and hit the wall of his head and was sleeping at a complete like L shape, bent. His head was in the wall, like doing an ostrich expression or something,
I imagine it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, like, cause he's passed out, so you think your knees would buckle and shit, but no, the wall was supporting him. His knees were like locked, so he's in a perfect standing L shape with his head in the wall, sleeping.
I would have grabbed a camera and took a picture
Ugh.
immediately.
Yeah, this is early 2000s, but
It would have been like, Dad, you need to slow down in your drinking. Why? I found you like this. Oh shit.
yeah, so I'll put like a Captain Morgan poster over it. What?
What would have made it even funnier is if that's what he was drinking.
Yeah, he loved rum and coke.
I mean, it's delicious. I'm not gonna argue.
Anywho, let's see here. What's y'all's favorite, N64, Sega Saturn, or PS1 games?
I'll let Matt go first.
I mean, Paper Mario is probably my favorite N64 game.
All right.
For PS1, a game called Tiny Bullet, which only came out in Japan.
Huh.
And for Sega Saturn, Guardian Heroes is pretty high up there. I don't know if that's my favorite, but it's up there.
It's in the top 3 at least.
If not 5.
Right on.
Alright.
For me, I'd have to pass on the Saturn because I didn't have one. Like my cousins did, but I didn't get to play on it all that much. So, but N64, only because it was the game that me and my buddies always played was Pokemon Stadium
Mm-hmm.
because we'd always go head to head on it. Either the first one, not the second one. And for PS1, like I said, Final Fantasy Tactics, hands down.
Let's see. Yeah, so Saturn, I kind of have to pass on it for now because I'm still going through the library. I guess for now I can say like the Resident Evil 1 port, which hey, did also have its own exclusive monster.
I heard about that, but I never figured out what it was. I just remember
It
hearing,
it's kind of like an insect version of a hunter.
"Oh, gross."
Yeah, it looked gross.
Hmm.
And it's for sort of like Matt's. I go with Mario Party, the first one. Yeah, that was just good times. And
You just
never
want blisters
Mario-
on your hands. It's okay.
I
What?
never played Mario Party.
Yeah, Mario Party 1 because of some of the games with the analog stick.
oh yeah. Like I'm not sure if I can do that these days because I got the like bit of arthritis. But and for PlayStation, obviously Suikoden 2, my favorite game of all time.
Which, I mean, I'm happy that's getting finally re-released sometime next year.
Yeah, everyone can finally experience my childhood. Cause even 15 years ago, that game was hundreds of dollars.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember
Now it's
hearing about that.
dropping a little bit, but it's not a cheap game still.
Oh, like I looked up it just a couple years ago, but it was like for used it was 150, for brand new it's 600. So yeah, that's why I was happy when it finally came like the PS3 for $10. I'm like, experience it, go. Oh man, but yeah, like I told you, it's the Game of Thrones of JRPGs. How dark that fucking story gets.
Yep. You told me don't get attached to a single character; they will die.
It's just okay. And with that, folks, I say it's time to sign off. See you next podcast, and the old What the Fuck pod, WTF, the Waifu Tavern Frequency. Okay, and make sure you pet slugs. Yeah, and make them happy. All right.
Bye, boys.
Bye.
Later.